This is what happens when you have 3 or 4 projects that collide at the same time. Welcome to my workshop. It is a complete and utter mess. And so I want to kind of walk you through how I'm going to organize and clean this place up after I get these projects completed, because I'm in the middle of doing stuff, as you can tell. So obviously we have a wood situation going on over here, which is a eyesore. So I'm going to construct some shelves. That's the idea, and then put all that stuff onto shelves. And then this is the broken drawer. So I want to kind of go through this episode telling you what happened and what I am going to do to fix this. This doesn't belong there. Excuse me. And this is unedited, so you see everything. Now, I'm just an average guy who has some toys down here. Men toys, I guess you could say. Boys with toys, whatever. All right, so let's go to the project that I'm going to hit right now. As you can see, this drawer bottom blew out. And what happened is, if I can lift this up without knocking anything over, you can see that it is a particle board or MDF or something. Probably off the shelf stuff from a home center. So what I have to do is to take the drawer front off, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with it. And it's held on by this screw, and then 2 more over there, and also any other hardware. There's a brass pull on that side. It's just a knob. No big deal. But the whole idea is to get rid of all of this pressboard stuff that is seen better days. It worked well for since 1997. I think that's when the house was built. And then it started to fail. This is the difference between normal wood and this sawdust stuff. It's crud. So the next thing that I need to do before I take this apart is actually work on my planer. I've had this planer for a long time. It's worked very well up till just recently, and it needs to be greased and oiled. I'm not going to put my fingers in there because that's a bad thing. Don't put your fingers in there. But underneath here and in the back are some rubber rollers, and kind of looks like this. Okay. It's filled with pitch, it's filled with tar, it's filled with sawdust and other chips, and I need to get that clean because those are the feeder rollers that go into this. And if the feeder rollers aren't working, I actually have to physically put the piece into the planer, and then actually have to pull it back out. And the whole idea is not to put your fingers near there. And unfortunately, with this device right now, as it is, I actually have to push it in with a stick and then grab it from the other side and pull it through. So that's not a good, ideal situation. Furthermore, let me see if I can find any of the gearing in there. Let's see it. Okay, there's a chain right here that is hooked up to this part that raises and lowers the cutter head, and it rides on this it's actually a screw that raises and lowers it, and sometimes it can get jammed up, so I need to oil that, and there's another one on the other side here. So just a couple squirts with some WD-40 on that. Other than that, this is a great planer. I love it. I use it all the time. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Unfortunately, I'm not going to show you the actual process, but what I will do is raise it up, hit it with some simple green, let it soak in a little bit, then wipe it, and then turn it on, turn it off real quick, and do it again. Turn it on, turn it off, do it again. Turn it on, turn it off, do it again. And always when I am cleaning that roller, this gets unplugged. Okay? We don't want any recordables and lost time accidents, so, or LTAs. All right, so that's with the planer. The next thing that I'm going to be doing is changing out this cutter head on my router. I'm going to put this router, this bit, on my router table, and there's simple green right here, and that will round over the edges of the boards, which are stacked over there. There they are. And just came from the lumber yard. Now I gotta find a collet. There's supposed to be a collet on that, and once I find it, it will be screwed into these 3 points here, and here, and here, and that will ride around. Take you back over to here, to this thing, and this is the dovetail. This cuts out dovetails. You can see the little fingers and stuff like that. So that's flush joints, and then I flip it around for rabbeted joints. And then I have another one for box joints right here, which is another template, but I'm not going to do box joints. That's right here. It's still called dovetailing, but one's for box joints, and this is for the classic looking dovetail joints, so I use that. And everything is offset a little bit, so you can zip the machine around. Yeah, this is the one I'm going to be using, because I accidentally, you see this? That's what happens when you take the router out while it's running. You don't do that, but it'll put a little unique mark in the board, maybe, because these are 1x4s. So I'll take it in here and I'll just measure. No, it'll miss that, so we don't need to worry about that little guy. So the first thing that I will do after I get the planer cleaned up and everything, do all the make readies, is plane the boards down with this. Now there are new cutters that I installed already on it, so they're nice and sharp, and it's ready to go. So that's about it for this little video. Again, we are going to be working on this drawer, and unfortunately I still don't have that stupid tripod, but anyways, so I can film the entire operation from start to finish, but it is what it is. And since it's cold down here in the basement, I found out that, oh, I need some new glue because the other stuff has gone bad. So I need to make a run over to the hardware store and pick up some glue after I've cleaned the planer. So that's what's gonna happen, folks. Welcome to my workshop. It will get cleaned up. Hi, we're going to take a little video tour of the inside of the planer. This is what happens when wood goes through it. It goes down. If you're looking up into the planer, see the roller, cutter head, and the outfeed roller. So that's what it looks like underneath. Excuse me. And then you can see all the debris in there. And on the other side, I'm going to have to vacuum all that out and then grease this down and that, and the other side. So there's your tour. That's what we need to do. And those rollers, they need to be cleaned off. And you do that with a scouring pad and some simple green. So we're gonna vacuum out the debris first. So as you can see, I took the cutter head cover off, and you can see where the cutter head is. And you can also see that there's a lot more debris and sawdust. And what happens is that the sawdust gets caught up underneath this piece, right up in here. I went like that and got all of this out of there. Might be some on the other side, but so yeah, there's still a little more up in there. And then right along the back edge side, I don't know if you can see it from here, sorry, but there's the front, then the roller, and then right behind this roller, and this is the outfeed roller, that also gets a lot of debris up in there. And you can see all this stuff was stuck up into there, and it was ruining the efficiency of this roller. And you know, you can still see it's a little on the loose side, but not too bad. But I have to get all this sawdust out of here, or the chips. So I just wanted to show that to you. I'm gonna clean all this stuff out and hit it with some more of that simple green. But I just wanted to show you what it looks like without the cover on. So I got the planer cleaned up, and now I also got those rollers cleaned up too. If I have to replace the rollers, that means it's a big job, and I don't want to do that, so I scuffed them up a little bit so it'll have a little bit more grip, and that's why I use that scouring pad. But anyways, you're looking at the collar for the dovetail bit, which goes into my router like that, but I'm going to take that one out and put it in here so I can round over the edges inside the drawer box, because this is sharp, and I've cut myself before on it. And you know, let's say I start getting thinner skin, that's really going to hurt. So I'm going to round over those edges, and I probably will do it on the outside too, except for the back. But I will round over the back edge here. But anyways, this is a guide or a collar, and I'll show you how this works around the dovetailing jig. That screw will come out. Probably just take it out now if I'm going to use it. Don't lose these. Okay. Alright, so this, when it goes up like that, and then it'll, when you flip the whole router over, of course this will flip around. But anyways, I'll just show you real quick. This, on the router jig, you start off going this way with the router, and then you go in like that with the bits, and so on and so forth. And this is just a depth guide. You take this off and then you put it down for how deep you want it. So this one's deeper, this one's deeper, this one's deeper, this one is very big. That's for like a lot of big type of lumber. Won't be using that. So I'll use this depth right here. You take this off and then you lower the bit down to here, and then you put this back on, and then zip, 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 zip. And another tip, when you use, and I'm sure you can find all sorts of different information about using routers, but you mark the pieces of wood, what's left, right, front, and back, and you mark what's the inside, and you also mark the top and the bottom, because in here everything is reversed. So if you take a board, the outside like that, and then the outside like that, and you try to put it together, you're backwards. So the inside of the box has to be facing like that. The inside of the box has to be facing like that, and you have to know which corners go where. Very important. But for this operation, the only thing that we will be dovetailing is the front. Okay, so this will have the dovetail here. In the back, it'll be a Dado joint. And this is a rabbit joint. I don't know why they did that. That'll blow out. There's nothing holding this back, right? I mean, except a bunch of staples. So it'll be rabbited. The bottom, as you can see, blew out. And this drawer box is actually tacked all along the bottom with this drawer glide holding it in place. That shouldn't be. This should be in a slot. This should be in a slot. This should be in a slot. This is the only thing that should be nailed. Now, the reason why this bowed out is because it's cheap. It's pressboard. It's nasty. Yeah, you thought, well, just go ahead and put it back. Well, in a couple of years, boom, it'll blow out again, because there's nothing holding any nail or screw underneath that. It'll just blow right out again. I have the same problem with a pull-out drawer on my desk for my keyboard. And it keeps popping through. And I put larger screws in, but it still keeps popping out. But so it's best to use real wood for drawers, especially if there's weight on here. Just saying. So I swapped the heads for the cutters for the dovetail, and it's the dovetail bit. This is very sharp. And this is the plate that goes around the fingers for the, not my fingers, but the fingers for the dovetailing jig. Alright, so I'm at a point where I can start taking off the hardware of this guy. So we'll get the door face off as well as the pulleys. And then we'll start taking measurements for the actual box. It's easier that way when all the hardware's off. And I think that'll probably do it for this episode. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Hopefully we'll have a good chunk of this done. See ya, and hit that subscribe button and hit the like and share this with everybody you know. And when you do subscribe, hit that bell icon so you can get updates whenever I post a new video. Have a great day. Here's a woodworking tip. When you want to reuse hardware for, let's say, these drawer glides, find a scrap piece of wood and screw them in. That way you won't lose them. See? That way you won't lose them. Or sometimes people use tape, but the problem is the tape can gum up the threads. So this is a good way of doing it. Just a little woodworking tip so you don't lose any of your screws like I've lost my marbles. All right, see you in the next video. Take care.